What if I told you that the same woman who starred in Hollywood movies also helped create the technology behind your Wi-Fi? Meet Hedy Lamarr. She wasn't just a beautiful actress, she was a talented one. She was a brilliant inventor who changed the world forever. Hedy Lamarr started life as Hedwig Kiesler in Vienna, Austria. Born in 1914, she grew up in a wealthy Jewish family. Her father was a bank director. Her mother came from a rich background, too. Think about learning to ride a bike as a child. You start wobbly, but soon you're racing down the street. That's how Hedy's acting career began. She started in small Austrian films. Then she landed a shocking role in a movie called Ecstasy. The film showed her swimming naked. This was scandalous in the 1930s. People talked about it everywhere. But this attention came with a dangerous price. In 1933, she married Fritz Mandl. He was an Austrian arms dealer. He sold weapons to both the Nazis and their enemies. Mandl was extremely controlling. He tried to buy up every copy of Ecstasy to hide it. Hedy felt trapped in this marriage. Mandl watched her constantly. He brought her to business meetings where she heard military secrets. She learned about weapons and communication systems. This knowledge would prove valuable later. In 1937, Hedy made a bold escape. She disguised herself as a maid. She fled to Paris, then to London. Finally, she sailed to America on a luxury ship. On that ship, she met Louis B. Mayer from MGM Studios. He was impressed by her beauty and presence. He offered her a Hollywood contract right there on the boat. Mayer changed her name from Hedwig Kiesler to Hedy Lamarr. He thought it sounded more glamorous. The name came from a silent film star named Barbara Lamarr. Within months, Hedy was starring in major Hollywood films. Movies like Algiers made her famous worldwide. She became known as the most beautiful woman in the world. But can you imagine having such a dramatic life change? How would you feel leaving everything behind to start over in a new country? While cameras rolled during the day, Hedy worked on inventions at night. Most people didn't know about this secret hobby. She had set up a complete laboratory in her home. Imagine having two completely different jobs. Maybe you're a teacher by day and a baker by night. That was Hedy's life. Actress by day, inventor by evening. Her first invention solved a personal problem. Hedy wasn't happy with her appearance in some scenes. She wanted to look more glamorous. So she designed a new type of cosmetic compact. But her inventions went far beyond beauty products. She created an improved traffic stoplight system. She designed a tablet that would dissolve in water to make a soft drink. She even worked on improvements for airplane wings. Hedy's scientific mind came from her childhood. Her father often took walks with her around Vienna. He would explain how different machines worked. Street lamps, cars, and factory equipment fascinated her. During World War II, Hedy wanted to help the Allied forces. She knew the Nazis were winning because of their superior technology. Their submarines were sinking Allied ships regularly. She learned that radio-controlled torpedoes had a big problem. Enemy forces could jam their radio signals easily. Once jammed, the torpedoes would miss their targets completely. Hedy had an idea from an unexpected source. She loved playing piano. She noticed that players could change between different keys smoothly. What if radio signals could hop between different frequencies the same way? She partnered with composer George Antheil to develop this idea. Antheil understood timing and coordination from his music work. Together, they created something revolutionary. Their system would make radio signals jump rapidly between frequencies. The transmitter and receiver would stay synchronized like dancers. Even if enemies jammed one frequency, the signal would keep working. In 1942, they received U.S. patent 2,292,387 for their frequency hopping invention. Have you ever wondered how your devices stay connected, even in crowded areas? Hedy's invention made that possible. Hedy and George's frequency hopping invention seemed like science fiction in 1942. The U.S. Navy looked at their patent but called it too complicated. They filed it away and forgot about it for years. Think about planting a seed in your garden. You water it and wait. Sometimes it takes years before you see the beautiful flower. Hedy's invention was like that seed. During the 1940s and 1950s, technology wasn't advanced enough to build their system easily. The frequency hopping required precise timing and coordination. The electronics needed were too big and expensive for practical use. But in the 1960s, smaller electronic components became available. Military engineers rediscovered Hedy's patent during the Cuban Missile Crisis. They realized her frequency hopping could secure military communications. The U.S. military started using the technology secretly. Ships could communicate without enemies listening in. The signals jumped between frequencies so quickly that interception became nearly impossible. After the military success, commercial companies became interested too. They saw that frequency hopping could solve civilian communication problems. Radio signals in cities often interfere with each other. Hedy's system could prevent this interference. In the 1980s and 1990s, engineers adapted frequency hopping for new uses. They built it into cordless phones. They used it in garage door openers. They incorporated it into wireless computer networks. Today, frequency hopping is everywhere in your daily life. Your Wi-Fi connection uses a version of it. Your Bluetooth headphones rely on it. Your GPS needs it to work properly. When you stream videos on your phone, you're using Hedy's invention. When you connect to public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, her technology keeps your data secure. When you play online games, frequency hopping prevents lag and disconnections. The wireless world we live in exists because of an idea from 1942. An actress and a composer created technology that powers billions of devices today. Isn't it amazing how one person's creative thinking can affect your everyday life decades later? For most of her life, Hedy received no credit for her inventions. Hollywood knew her only as a glamorous actress. The scientific community ignored her contributions completely. Imagine writing an amazing song that becomes a hit, but someone else gets all the credit and money. That's what happened to Hedy for over 50 years. In the 1960s, her original patent expired. Companies started making billions of dollars using her frequency hopping technology. Hedy didn't receive a single penny from these profits. The patent system didn't protect inventors the way it does today. Many people assumed pretty actresses couldn't be serious inventors. This unfair stereotype hurt Hedy throughout her career. People saw her beauty and dismissed her brain. They couldn't imagine someone being both glamorous and brilliant. The entertainment industry didn't help either. Studios wanted to keep their stars focused on making movies. They discouraged outside interests and hobbies. Hedy's inventions were seen as distractions from her real job, but attitudes slowly started changing in the 1990s. Technology companies began researching the history of their innovations. They discovered that many modern wireless systems traced back to Hedy's 1942 patent. In 1997, Hedy finally received proper recognition. The Electronic Frontier Foundation gave her a special award. They honored her as a pioneer of the digital age. She was 83 years old when this happened. After decades of silence, the world finally acknowledged her genius. She had been ahead of her time by more than 50 years. Unfortunately, Hedy died in 2000, just as the wireless revolution was beginning. She didn't live to see smartphones, tablets, or social media. She missed the explosion of technologies that built on her work. Today, many schools teach about Hedy Lamarr in science classes. Young inventors learn her story as inspiration. She proves that innovation can come from unexpected places. In 2014, Hedy was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. She joined the ranks of Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell. Don't you think it's important that we remember the real inventors behind our everyday technologies? Hedy Lamarr lived an extraordinary double life as both a Hollywood star and a brilliant inventor. She escaped Nazi-controlled Austria, became a famous actress, and secretly developed frequency hopping technology. Her 1942 invention now powers Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS systems worldwide. Though recognition came late in life, her story proves that innovation has no limits. Beauty and brains can go together. What other hidden inventors might be out there? Like this video if Hedy's story surprised you. Subscribe for more amazing stories from history.